So today it's time to share another PC build, Hello Kitty edition. What's up everybody, it's PJ the Great. I hope you're having a super beautiful day. And if you're new here, I do videos just like this, as well as ADHD tips. So if that sounds like your jam, consider subscribing. And to all my returning subscribers, what's up fam? Welcome back. So today I want to share with you my $200 Hello Kitty PC build. Now I put this PC together for my mom for Mother's Day. It's kind of funny because I kind of built it right in front of her and I told her that I was building it for a friend. And she believed me until I completed the project and I gave it to her. Now this build, like I said, only cost me $200 to put together, and I'm going to show you all the parts that I use to make this build possible. Now I picked up all the parts from Amazon.com, but just to let you know ahead of time, this video is not sponsored. Now this build is going to be rather simple. That's the reason why I was able to keep it at roughly around $200. The things that my mom does on her computer is she surfs the web, checks emails, does a couple of games like Sudoku, but that's pretty much the gist of her computer usage. And she was doing all that on an old Dell Optiplex 680 that I bought her like 3 years ago. And that was working perfectly fine for her for what she was doing, but granted the system was a little bit slow considering how old it is. And I just wanted to bring her up into the 21st century, so I thought this would be an amazing Mother's Day gift for her, especially since she's a huge fan of Hello Kitty. Okay, so for the first piece of tech that is going inside of this build is, some people call this the brain of the system. I like to think of it as the heart of the system, and that is the processor. This is an APU. This is the Athlon processor with Radeon Vega graphics. And the reason why I picked this up is, first of all, it's very affordable. It's only $49.99, and it has a built-in graphics card in it, so there was no need to pick up a graphics card for her. Like I said, she only does basic things, so built-in graphics should work just fine. This thing is a 2-core 4-thread processor, AM4 chipset, so you can throw this into a Ryzen motherboard and it pretty much makes you ready for Ryzen if you ever want to upgrade. And this thing is clocked at 3.2 gigahertz. This is locked, one of the few processors by AMD that is locked, but there have been a couple of people that have found out ways to overclock this anyway. Like a lot of motherboard manufacturers out there are offering BIOS updates that will unlock this and allow you to overclock it. And our little Athlon is going to need a home, and for a mom, Mother's Day, mom, get it? I picked this guy up. This is the Asus Prime A320MK motherboard. This was roughly around, I think, $62, $63. And this is AMD Ryzen Desktop 2000 ready. So that's a pretty cool deal there. The reason why I picked this up is because it was super affordable, and I think it's a pretty good motherboard. And to be perfectly honest with you, I'm happy with this choice, but after I picked this up, I did find a gigabyte motherboard that was like $12 cheaper than this. That would have worked just fine for her, so I'm a little upset that I didn't see that, because that would have put me right on budget, as a matter of fact. And as far as the RAM that I decided to pick up for her, I got her, sorry, don't have the box, kind of got rid of it. It just came in a little plain plastic container anyway. It's the Ballistics RAM, Sport LT 4GB DDR4 running at 2666. 4 gigabytes I figured is all she'll need, because when she does surf the web and check emails, she doesn't have a lot of tabs open at one time. It's usually just Microsoft Edge and the Microsoft Windows email app. So running only 2 things at a time, 4 gigabytes is enough. Not a fan that she is running in single channel, but the system seems to be pretty zippy, even in single channel with 4 gigabytes of RAM. It's like still leaps and bounds faster than that old Dell Optiplex that she was using. So maybe in the future, might get her another stick, bump over to 8 gigabytes, but for what she's doing, 4 gigabytes is more than enough. And for the power, the PSU. Now, don't give me a hard time for this. I got her the APU Raptor Power Series. This is a 500 watt PSU. Now, this is interesting. I only paid $24 for it, so it's super cheap, and it kept me within my budget. That was one of the reasons why I decided to pick this up. But should have did a little bit more reading. Come to find out, this is not 80 plus anything rated. So it's probably not that efficient as far as how it is using power and distributing power to her new Hello Kitty build. But considering what she is running, and I did a little research doing like calculators that you can find online to see how many watts your system is actually using. This system is only going to be burning up 105 watts at peak. So I figured this little guy should be more than enough to power up that system. I don't know how power efficient it's going to be. I can only guess that it'd be better than her old Dell, but we'll keep an eye on it. And newsflash, I did upgrade the PSU in baby blue. I'm now rocking a Corsair 850 watt power supply. So my old 500 watt 80 plus rated white Thermaltake PSU may find its way into this build in the near future, but for now I think this is pretty substantial for what this PC is going to be doing. And just to elaborate a little bit more on this, this thing has like 4 out of 5 star ratings on Amazon.com. Like I said, I paid like 24 bucks for it, but just be weary or leery, or what is the word, or aware. Just be aware. I looked at those reviews and I think 3 out of 6 seem like they're not legit. Like for example, one person gave it 5 stars and said, oh, this is amazing PSU, it works great, and my PC is powering up my GTX 1080, I believe she said. Well, I don't know how it's doing that, considering that this PSU doesn't even have VGA wires for a GPU. So that was like a red flag. And then someone else said that it was working perfectly fine in his gaming rig. Granted, he didn't say he was using a GPU, he could be using an APU, but those were like 2 red flags for me, 5 stars, and it's like, I don't know, I think maybe Apivia reached out to them and asked them to review the product and they gave it to them, or I don't know. But those reviews are, I don't think they're legit at all. So if you're considering picking this up, just know that it doesn't have any wires, VGA wires, to hook up a GPU, so you're not going to be able to do that with this. It's not 80 plus certified. And the CPU power on this is only 4 pin, so if you have an 8 pin motherboard, this ain't gonna work. I'll list this in the description, as well as all the other parts that I use for this build, but I will list an alternative that I think you could probably get, or you should get as a matter of fact, instead of this, like that Thermaltake 500 watt 80 plus white certified that will probably be thrown in here. And yes, diarrhea.
Diarrhea, cha-cha-cha, diarrhea, cha-cha-cha.
That I wasn't a fan of. Well, I'm gonna throw it in here and see how well it performs, considering that 1 terabyte diarrhea performed really well in baby blue. So I'm gonna see how well this does in the Hello Kitty build. 120 gigabytes, I know you really shouldn't go any lower than 240 for an OS and apps on a PC, but as mentioned, the way my mom uses her PC, she doesn't download or save anything. So 120 gigabytes will be all that she needs. As a matter of fact, in that old Dell, I threw that Korani 120 gigabyte SSD in there, and she barely used like a half of that SSD. So I know 120 is going to be perfectly fine. And last but not least, we need a case. So I picked her up a pink case to make this a Hello Kitty build. This is a case that is put together by Apevia X Infinity Mid Tower with full size acrylic side windows. Pretty decent case for like $47 I paid for it, which is steal. Now I really could have went with something like a basic like Roswell or something like that for $24.99, but this is a Hello Kitty build, so I had to get a pink PC case in order to make this work, and this is the most affordable one. But let me tell you, this case is not too shabby. When I got it and I saw it, I immediately got like super jelly because it is way better than that Vivo case that I have for Baby Blue. A lot more room to work in, and the cable management is like awesome. Okay, so those are all the parts, and my grand total for this build is $215. So I went over budget by $15. I probably would have been spot on if I would have found that gigabyte motherboard before I picked up the Asus one, but hey, $15 is not too bad. And if you really want to get technical about it, you can throw in that diarrhea 120 gigabyte SSD. The total actually comes up to roughly $235. So that's still not bad. I didn't include that because I already had that SSD in my arsenal. So without further ado, let's share with you the building process, because I've already built it and I've already been playing around with it. And we'll come back and I'll share with you the results and what I think.
I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone in affection, I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone in affection, I summon and dub it. Why you be all in my line about nothing? Why won't you go get you $1 or something? Don't hang with it who lying for nothing. I see that we different, you riding, I double. I don't do discussions on bragging about hundreds. Don't go to your places, I know that they sunken. Don't call me your brother, I barely could trust it. I talked to a shorty, she bagging the bucket. And I'ma need all of my dollars on corporate, so hand me the money, I divvy the pie. I'ma give all of my people a portion to build them a fortune. I'm flipping the ride. I can't be mixy when iffy the vibe. And 40 on 50 is really the time. Why is you all on my phone like you want me? Like you wasn't pushing the kid to the side. I don't know if you thinking I'm blind. Cross on my crosses and doubt on my eyes. Done with your efforts, I'm dealing with pressures. I know it's a lesson, that's word of the wise. Dubbing the mixes I'm mixing, I know I've been missing. I needed some personal time. All the pictures, dimensions, I don't with your digits. I mean it, I'm staying inside. Cause I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone in affection, I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone in affection, I summon and dub it. I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone in affection, I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell Tell me I'm garbage, I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone in progression, it's all that I wanted. A phone in affection, I summon and dub it. Why you be all on my line about nothing? Why won't you go get you $1 or something? Don't hang with it who lying for nothing. I see that we different, you riding, I double. I don't do discussions on bragging about hundreds. Don't go to your places, I know that they sunken. Don't call me your brother, I barely could trust it. I talked to a shorty, she bagging the bugging. And I'ma need all of my dollars on corporate, so hand me the money, I divvy the pie. I'ma give all of my people a portion to build them a fortune. I'm flipping the ride. I can't be mixy when iffy the vibe. And 40 on 50 is really the time. Why is you all on my phone like you want me? Like you wasn't pushing the kid to the side. I don't know if you thinking I'm blind. Cross on my crosses and dot on my eyes. Done with your efforts, I'm dealing with pressures. I know it's a lesson, that's word of the wise. Dubbing the mixes I'm mixing, I know I've been missing. I needed some personal time. All the pictures, dimensions, I don't with your digits. I mean it, I'm staying inside. Cause they got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage, I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone in progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone in affection, I summon it.
Okay, we are back, and I want to share the results and what I think of this $200 Hello Kitty build. Now, I forgot to mention that little decal that I put on the front and the top, the Hello Kitty decal, that was factored into the price as well. So, forgot to mention that. 2-pack, 10 bucks. So, how does it perform? Well, first of all, as expected, it performs way better than, shut up computer. It performs way better than her Dell Optiplex. It has to. It just has to, because that machine was so old and now she's in the 21st century. Now, I did some Geekbench testing on it and I'm going to share that with you here. So this is what she is getting on Geekbench, and yeah, it's really nothing to brag about, but for a system that is only going to be used for surfing the internet, checking emails, that's more than adequate. And one thing I forgot to mention too, this AMD Athlon, there's a lot of people saying that you can game on this chip at lower settings and 720p, but you can game on it, so not too shabby. Now, how is it holding up with just 4 gigabytes of RAM? Well, it's fast. It's fast, even in single channel. It is absolutely fast, and it's fast enough for the tasks that she's going to be handling, and it's way faster than the Dell computer that she was using that was using dual channel. So DDR4 definitely makes a difference, especially running at 2667 megahertz. It's doing good with just single channel. Now I may upgrade her to another 4 gigabytes of RAM so that she's running in dual channel and has 8 gigabytes of RAM, but I don't see myself needing to do that anytime soon. But 4 gigabytes, single channel, doesn't seem to be an issue. And once again, diarrhea has taken me by surprise. The 120 gigabyte SSD that I was really hard on in my initial video, well, it's performing like a champ in the Hello Kitty build. Oh, I can never get that right. Here are the Crystal Disk Mark results. Outstanding numbers, and it has this thing running like a champ. Booting up super fast, shutting down super fast, running all of her web browsers and email and games super fast. This is a great SSD, even the 120 gigabyte one from Diarrhea. It's amazing. And no, I'm not sponsored by them. As far as the Asus motherboard, not mad at it. Not mad at it at all. It's doing its job. Don't really know if it has any overclocking ability in it, because once again, you can't overclock this Athlon. I need to update the BIOS to see if in doing that, it allows me to overclock this Athlon, but I'm almost certain that this motherboard does not allow overclocking, even though I was able to boost the RAM up to 2667. And last but not least, that Apivia PSU, it didn't blow up on me when I powered it up. It's working just fine. It's been working great for like a week now, and Still gonna throw that thermal take in there, but I'm not gonna be in a hurry to do it just yet, but it's still gonna happen. And I'm looking at the possibility of giving her the AMD Wraith, I think it's Prism, that came with my Ryzen 5 that I have just like sitting in the box, just for some added cooling to the system. But I think the cooling is going to be pretty adequate for what it came with. It did come with, I mean, the case. The case came with two 120mm fans with pink LEDs in them. They had one in the front, one in the back. I took the one in the back, moved it to the front so that she has two intake fans in the front. And then I had an extra fan lying around that I originally used in baby blue, and I threw that in the back so she would have an exhaust fan in the back. So am I happy with this build? Well, I don't think it matters if I'm happy with it. My mom is super happy with it. She absolutely loves it. I mean, she totally like lost her mind when I presented it to her and told her that it was hers and it was for Mother's Day, because it was a complete shocker. She's happy with it. I'm happy with it. And you know what? For $200 or a little bit above $200, yeah, I'm a little happy with it too. And just think about it. This is a build that you could probably do like for yourself, or if you have like a young daughter that's a Hello Kitty fan, or even a son that's a Hello Kitty fan, you can do this build for them and it would be an adequate system for people who are just looking to do homework, surf the web, check emails, things of that nature. And you can even do some light gaming on this system. So I think it's a hell of a deal. $200 for this, I think it's pretty cool. Do me a favor, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. But either way, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click the bell for notifications so you'll be notified every time I upload new videos. The consistency has been a little off with every weekend, but I'm striving, I'm trying, you know. Life gets in the way sometimes, and sometimes ADHD gets in the way too. Once again, thank you for watching. To all the mothers out there, happy Mother's Day to you. And this is PJ the Great saying Audi 5000G. Alright, so I think I've exhausted all reasons now to build another PC. Unless I can talk a friend or a family member into let me do one for them.
I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me